My name is Charlie McGrath. I'm the founder of WideAwakeNews.com and a host on the Rinse Radio Network. What does Dow Jones 13,000, 12,900, 14,000, 15,000? What does any of that mean to Main Street? Well, at this point in time, if you turn on one of the talking head business channels, they're all sitting there with their extremely bleached teeth and their perfectly pressed suits trying to convince you that Dow 13,000 will generate jobs on Main Street. And you know what? Maybe that used to be the case where we could look at the trends and look at the markets as indicators, forward-looking indicator of what's coming to this country. But the fact is simple. Those days are gone. They do not exist anymore. We have now in perpetuity 50 million people on food stamps, millions of people being foreclosed on, having to file bankruptcy. We find out that one of the booming sectors of our economy is now the government sponsoring and hiring collection agencies who are threatening people to take money right out of their paychecks or bring them to court if they can't pay their student loan, which has now surpassed credit card debt, nearly $1 trillion. This time bomb is supposed to double in the next 2 years. And who's making money on this? Who's making the profit on collecting this money? The two big to fail firms. JP Morgan Chase is one of the primary holders of one of these large collection agencies that are terrorizing people, making minimum wage jobs that they had to get an education that it caused them to go $20,000 in debt in the first place just to get this worthless piece of paper. It is exactly what happens when the government takes control of sectors of the economy. They take control of the student loan sector or education sector, and we end up with out of control spending, out of control cost increases in the price of tuition. Now we have the Supreme Court looking at Obamacare. They promise, at least from the headlines coming out recently, to pick this thing apart. But I say we better be cautious and pay attention to what's going on. How often is it that the government passes multi-thousand pages pieces of legislation and then just lets this go by the wayside? Are they just going to pull out the mandate? Are they going to just toss this thing to the wayside, which is what they need to do? They need to toss about 2/3 of the government to the wayside because it's doing nothing but spinning us into an oblivion in order to benefit the people that finance their political careers, these folks on Wall Street. How is it possible that JP Morgan Chase can be primary owner in a debt collection company? This is an institution that in 2008 was seconds away from being out of business, seconds away from being insolvent. And if the truth be known, if all these derivative nightmares come rolling home on them in the next few months, they will be out of business. But that's okay because the time has passed for reason. The time has passed for common sense. The time has passed to codify the public. All this failure over the last 4.5 years has been managed to be put on to your back. Don't believe for 1 second that 2012 is going to be a passive year. Fireworks are coming. It's almost a guarantee. Stories are attached. That's all I got.